So we thought it was prudent and about time that we did some Mk3 Focus RS stuff. Now Shane, who's a local lad to us, probably only about 30 miles away from us, phoned us at the beginning of this week to discuss an issue that he'd got with the Mk3 Focus RS. Now when he told us about it, it really did bring back some bad memories for me, to be fair. He'd got it into a local garage, purchased it locally from a dealer, and within 4 months he's ended up with a big engine issue. Now another local garage to him, 30 miles away, has actually looked at the car and they've actually found that there's a hole in the side of the block. Now that's not dissimilar to what we found with our own vehicle, so it really does, I'm in a feel for the guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this car off the recovery truck. We've recovered it for him, locally obviously. Going to get it off the recovery truck, we're going to have a look at it, take some pictures. Hopefully the warranty is going to cover somewhat of this cost, not a lot towards it, and we will go into detail about that. The dealer has also found a conscience and is actually offered to match the warranty company, so more power to them. So we'll get this car off the ramps. Lee will probably show you coming off the ramps. We'll get it onto into our workshop and get some more information about just what we think's happened to this vehicle. So stay tuned. If you haven't already, then please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon to stay notified, comment down below if you've suffered something similar or you know someone who has, and give this video a like just to show Shane a bit of support. So back in the workshop, got the vehicle loaded on the ramp, and we're just quickly going to send it in the air and see if we can find out exactly what's happened. We pretty much know what's happened with, well, the garage that it was at found a hole in the side of the block, so let's establish where that is. Let's get this thing up in the air, let's get some photos over to the warranty company, and let's get this thing moving. So what we found is a hole in the sump, but yeah, it's a bit confusing, but there's definitely internal damage because there's bits of, well, there's bits of bolt that's just fallen out for a starter, but to get the warranty company to contribute towards this, we're going to have to prove that it isn't just as a result of him damaging the sump. Now there's no main under tray on it, which either the other garage have taken it off and it's in the back of the car, or it's not with it, or it didn't have it. But what we need to determine now is that this failure of the engine wasn't as a result of just damage of the sump. But that would be difficult because there's no impact marks to anywhere on the front or to the aircon pump or anything like that. So there's no actual damage anywhere here forwards to indicate that it would have damaged the sump. What I'd say has happened is that whatever's failed inside has ended up in the sump, as it always does, at whatever RPM it was doing, and has actually blown a hole in the bottom of it. But we're going to have to try and prove that and see if there's any damage in the cylinder block itself further up. But we'll do a little bit of light investigation now so that we can actually there you go, put something through to the insurers. So what's that, a bit of sump or
piston?
Yeah, that looks like a bit of piston.
Lovely.
What do you think, Ben? We've got a hole in the sump, but we've got no damage to the front face of it. So whatever, I think what the same has happened to our engine, which is that, you know, when it let go and tried to make a hole, it fired everything through the bottom into the sump. There's bits of lots of things in there. There's bits of bolt come out as well.
There's a big chunk by here. Hard to see properly without taking the sump off in it, but it doesn't look good, does it? There's a lot of...
It'd be worth taking the spark plug out to see whether the spark plug's been hit like ours had, that apparently was melted when it was actually knocked back into the electrode was knocked back into the plug rather than what Ford suggested it was. We've got bits at the back as well.
Yeah, you've got a torch. Hold the back in there. Bit on the transfer box maybe.
There's another bit here.
Yeah, there's a big hole behind the transfer box. Lots more pieces of block up there.
Oh yeah. Right, well we don't need to take anything apart. Basically, it's going to be difficult for us to show you this, but behind the transfer box there's actually a crack there, and there's bits of the external block that's yeah, falling onto us basically, essentially. So I don't think we need to
get a nice coffee table out of it, won't we?
Yeah, we'll get a nice coffee table out of it. It'll be sacrificial and a bit holy at the same time, isn't it, realistically? Yeah. I think we'll take some pictures. I'm going to come out from underneath there because it's way too difficult for me to stand, but we'll take some pictures, get them sent off to the warranty company. They'll probably ask us to remove the plug to see exactly the state of it, take a few more bits off, and hopefully get them the small amount that they're going to contribute, and hopefully the dealer will match that. But we'll come back to you, and we're probably going to make a little episode out of actually what we find and what we do and what route the customer chooses. Probably just going to go with a replacement engine, just purely and simply because otherwise you'd have to buy a donor engine and then forge it on top, or you know, to buy a brand new unit for this car is, you know, a lot of money. So what we're doing,
we need.
yeah, we got it right at the right angle. So what we're doing is filming this so that we can film this for the warranty company. What they've said, which is pretty good of them to be fair, is that this particular vehicle or cover for it has only got a really small warranty policy outstanding on it, so it's got £750 plus that. Well, that's not going to make much of a dent in this. So what we're going to do is film them a video, and hopefully that means that we're not going to have to pull the engine out and then pull it to bits. Hopefully they'll be able to determine from this video the damage and the fact that, you know, there's nothing else. The fact that it's got a hole underneath it, the only thing that I kind of worried about is they're going to say that that sump was damaged. So we're going to do them a little video now to present to them so that we can show them the damage, and hopefully they'll be able to prove it without the customer having to pay for the initial inspection in it, Ben, which is what costs the money in it, because he's going to have to get to the reasoning point of why it happened to explain to the warranty company so that they can approve it. But this way, if they just deem it to be damage, you know, just damage caused, and they can justify it, hopefully they can pay out the money without the customer having to use some of that £700 towards doing this investigation in it. So we'll get this videoed and get it sent off to the warranty company. Do you want to restart that, Ben? Because otherwise we're going to send the warranty company all that.
Yeah.
Right, so this is vehicle registration Romeo Sierra 03 Oscar Charlie Sierra. The vehicle's come in to us today via recovery truck, non-starter for very obvious reasons. If you can see here, there's damage to the sump. There's no impact damage at all on the front face. The under body protection or under tray has been removed by others. It actually came from Celtic Cars, recovered here to a specialist. If I bring you around the back of the vehicle, there is actually signs of damage up here somewhere. We're going to struggle to get you and try and get some light to above here behind the transfer box.
And get it in up there, you should be able to see the pieces.
So there's pieces of actual engine block, should I say, behind. Now we've got some of those bits along with other bits that we've recovered from some bits of bolts as well from the sump. It would appear that it had a sudden and immediate failure. Apparently this vehicle was doing about 25 mile an hour when the failure occurred, and obviously the engine suddenly stopped. So we're putting this video through to you so that hopefully you can let us know any queries and hopefully approve the repair value. If you've got any questions, my name's Darren Evans and Ben Jones is recording it, and today's date is the 13th of the 1st 2021. Thank you. So that's it, it's as simple as that. We've recorded a video, it's the simplest way of sending this stuff over to the warranty. If you have this sort of issue, the best thing to do is just get them a video, get them some photos as well to correspond with that, like Ben's trying to do now. Look at him in the background, getting that light in there, getting them angles, Ben. So yeah, if you get an issue like this, it's the best thing to do is to actually get them as much information, get them as many videos, as many pictures you can to support it. It'll save you money in the long run, because remember, to effect a warranty, you've got to prove that the warranty should be or should come into effect. By that I mean you've got to prove that the damage is there and what the cost of the repair is. In this instance it's a replacement engine, so it's fairly simple. So what they actually want is the full details of the vehicle, the mileage when purchased, which they've already got, pictures of the damage, an estimate of the repair cost, and that's it. And hopefully we'll get this approved, but we'll come back to you in the next episode to let you know exactly what's happened. Thanks guys.